Okay, so we're going to learn the RACES format. So what you guys are going to do, this is going to be the prompt that you're going to be given. We're going to have this sample that we're going to do as a class. You guys are going to do a practice one, at least one practice, and then we eventually will have a mastery where we give you a piece of reading and you're going to respond with the RACES. We're going to get this format down so that way whenever you're given a question, you know how to use this format. So in your notebooks, at the very top, I want you to write the word RACES. At the very, very top, write the word RACES. And then I want you to write down this definition, the writing strategy for when we answer questions about reading. So in this strategy, okay, each one of these letters, RACES, stands for something, and it is going to create a paragraph response. This is going to help you create a paragraph. That is the goal, that you will end up writing an entire paragraph. Okay, so we're going to first go over what each of these letters are. So what I would do is in your notebook, write down RACES. So here's what mine looks like. RACES. And you will just follow these steps while you are writing your paragraph, okay? The letter R, this is your first sentence, okay? You're going to start by restating. So you're going to restate the question. So whatever the question is, you are going to turn it into a statement. So if it says, who is the main character? You would say, the main character is. Okay, so you're going to take that question and you're going to turn it back into a statement. So what is the conflict? The conflict is. Then, after you have started that sentence by restating the question, you're going to answer the question. So say the question again is, what is the conflict? And your R was, the conflict is. Your A would be that Stephen is dealing with his brother getting diagnosed with cancer. The next letter is C. Raise your hand if you know what textual evidence is. Oh, textual evidence is evidence from the text, meaning you're going to use what you read to support your answer. So C stands for cite textual evidence. Now, when you cite textual evidence, it could look like this. So it could say, in the text, it says, in the paragraph, it says, Jordan Sonnenblick says, or the author of your book, Jason Reynolds says, or Jacqueline Woodson says, or John Green says, or whatever book you're reading. So this is where you're going to pull a quote from your book, from your paragraph, from your story, and support your answer. Okay, so we have restate the question, we have answer the question, we're going to cite our evidence. That means we're going to pull a quote from the text to support what we said. Then we're going to explain. Okay, so you're going to say, like, this shows the conflict because, and then you're going to explain how it shows the conflict. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. Elaborate, continue to tell how it works, give more information. You want your response to not be mostly textual evidence. You want it to be your work, your words. Okay. So that is where this explaining comes in. Okay. And I will put elaborate here because I like that. And then the last one is S. S means sum it up. You know, when you write a paragraph, how you have a topic sentence? You can't just like leave the paragraph hanging, because then, like, I always imagine when I was younger, I was told to write a paragraph like a sandwich where you have, you know, your top piece of bread and your bottom piece of bread. Remember that analogy there where you had a paragraph? So I imagine without putting that ending sentence, like eating a sloppy Joe without a bun, it's messy. It's going to ruin your new favorite shirt. Okay. So you need to kind of put a bottom bun to your paragraph. So that way it wraps up into a nicely organized piece of writing. So the last thing is sum it up, which basically means you're going to kind of rephrase your topic sentence. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do an example using that format. RACES. Restate, answer, cite, explain, sum it up. Okay, so here we go. The question or the prompt is, Jordan Sonnenblick is the author of Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie. This novel fits into the genre of realistic fiction. Explain why this novel is considered part of this genre using 1 to 2 of the following characteristics from genre notes and evidence from the novel. So I'm going to begin my response. So here's the genre notes. We read this in class the other day. So let's refresh. Realistic fiction is imaginative writing that reflects life as it could be lived today. Everything in a realistic fiction story could actually happen to real people living in today's world. Realistic fiction helps people move toward a fuller understanding of themselves and others. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to respond in my racist format. So I'm going to start with R. R is restate the question. So it says, how does it fit? Why this novel is considered part of this genre? So I'm going to say, restating the question, the novel Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie is realistic fiction because, that's my R, because the events could happen to real people. Now, you guys don't have to write down this whole paragraph because this is going to be on Schoology. But if you want to, you can. So the novel Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie is realistic fiction because, so that is my R. I'm going to highlight that yellow. That is my R. Okay. I may even comment, restate. Okay. This one, because the events could happen to real people, that is my A. So I already have the R and the A done. Okay. So this one's answer. Next is RA. What does C stand for? Cite. So I need to find textual evidence. If I go back to the question, the question says using 1 to 2 characteristics from genre notes, which is here, and evidence from the novel. So I'm going to cite 2 pieces because one's going to come from here and one's going to come from here. Okay. So I'm going to say in the text genre notes, it says that realistic fiction, I'll do this. It says that, I like this one, everything in a realistic fiction story could actually happen to real people living in today's world. Did you notice how I literally took that directly from the notes? Right here, everything in a realistic fiction story could actually happen to real people living in today's world. Yeah. So now I have that evidence. So I have my one piece. What do you think I should do to prove that Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie is realistic fiction? Jacob? Yeah, well, I need to find something from my book that shows that it is realistic fiction. So part of me says that they're all going to have a hard time with this, and that's going to be the way it normally is, right? So we're going to find a piece, maybe even from this chapter that we did. And so here's what we read today, page 44. And we can say even that it turned out Jeffrey knew he might be sick and all this. And now this is a lot. So maybe we could say, we could use the I started crying, but when my mom started coming over to me, I ran upstairs for bed. That is all a way that everybody realistically could react, right? People could react to these kind of news realistically. So I'm going to add that to my race's response by saying, in Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie, Stephen reacted in a realistic way when his parents told him about Jeffrey's cancer. He, and I'll say, started crying, but when my mom started coming over to hug me, I ran upstairs for bed. And then I'm going to put that was page 44 in the text. Okay, so have I cited my evidence now? I have it from my genre notes and my book, right? Well, that is wrong. Okay. So I'm going to highlight this so that I know that this is my evidence. So this is C. Okay. So what do I need to do next after I have cited my evidence? What does E stand for? Look at your notes. Explain it. So now I'm going to explain it. So I'm going to say, the question again is, how is this a realistic fiction? So I'm going to say, clearly, this novel is a realistic fiction text because what happened to Stephen and his family is something that can really happen in real life. And I'm going to even elaborate to that and say the emotions that Stephen and his parents feel are very real and relatable, so that the reader can understand what others are going through. Do you see my explanation there? Did I restate what I said in the text? Did I just say it again? Or did I kind of explain it and elaborate and give more details? Yeah, I explained it. I gave more details. That's what you need to do with that E. You need to make sure that you're giving more details there. Okay. I'm going to go with orange because I'm running out of colors. Oh, I haven't used green, have I? I don't know. That's not important right now. So this is your E. Explanation. What's the last thing I need to do? Sum it up. I need to bring it back. So then I'll just say, therefore, the novel Drums, Girls, and Dangerous, that's Dangerous Pie, is definitely realistic fiction because it feels like it could be a real, true story. So that is my S. I summed it back up to the question. So if you notice, I have a top bun of my Sloppy Joe. I have a bottom bun of my Sloppy Joe so that my Sloppy Joe doesn't end up all over my shirt. I have a whole paragraph here. My paragraph has two pieces of evidence. I have one from genre notes. I have one from Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie. Okay. And then I explained it so that I really showed whoever's reading my response that I know what I am talking about. That explanation is your words. That shows that you understand what you are saying. You're not just pulling stuff from the text. Okay.